First of all, Boombox, congratulations on an amazing 4-0 victory today. So talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling today after such a decisive victory at the start of Stage 2.
It's nice to be able to win 4-0 because we usually have quite close series, which is why our map score is like so low. And to be able to beat Boston, who beat us in, I think it was the last week of the stage, 4-0 now when we got 4-0'd, is a really good feeling.
With the introduction of Stage 2, we're seeing a lot of balance changes to the support class. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's affected you and what are your current feelings on the state of the support class?
Well, I feel it's good because Mercy's no longer a must pick, so heroes like Moira, Anna, Lucia have come back into meta, and that I think that helps me as a player because I really didn't like Mercy's Zen meta because most of the time you just play Zen as an anchor point for your Mercy, but now I can play Moira and it's really high impact hero, I feel. So it's quite fun to have these new heroes being able to be played.
Excellent. And today was the debut game of your new teammate, EQO. Can you tell me a little bit about what your experience has been like playing with him and how it feels to field him for the first time in such a decisive victory?
He's a talented player. We've known it for quite a while, and it's really nice to play with him. He's a down-to-earth guy. He's an 18-year-old kid, so it's always fun to talk to him and chill. It's just nice to see him perform.
This is kind of the first time we're seeing the mid-season roster changes among the entire league. Can you tell me a little bit about what that process was like, incorporating new members in the team and creating that synergy with somebody who wasn't there for Stage 1?
Well, Eco wasn't here for Stage 1 for reasons I don't really know, but he wasn't here and he arrived at the end of Stage 1, so it was nice to have a new player who has a different style, because we had Shadowburn, who's also a really talented player in that role, but now we have Eco, who plays a different style and calls a lot more, so it's nice to have additions like that to teams, and it can help a lot of teams.
Running the clock back a little bit here, Valentine's Day, we had the big puppy event and all that. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience and just what it was like doing something that was obviously very cute, very fun, and really publicity friendly?
Well, I woke up one day, I didn't really know what was happening, and went outside and there was just a bunch of puppies, so it was a nice surprise because we don't have a house pet, and at home in the UK I have 2 cats and a dog, so it's nice to be able to stroke dogs, I guess. It's relaxing and soothing, so it was nice, and Fusion's looking after us really well.
Excellent. So Valentine's Day, not really a really widely celebrated holiday within competitive sports, a house full of teammates and fellow gentlemen. Can you tell me a little bit about what a holiday like Valentine's Day is like in an esports household?
Well, I think it's usually memes, I guess. There's a lot of people who create meme pictures of players like Shadowburn and stuff, so it's I guess rather than celebrating the usual way, it's having a laugh at things and relaxing. With
the Overwatch League still being so new, obviously Valentine's Day was the first holiday that we had to experience while also all the teams were together here in LA. Can you tell me what do you think it's going to be like going forward into these other holiday seasons, just various holidays, what it's going to be like being in that household with your team and celebrating it together as opposed to with family and friends back home?
I say it will be different, but it's we all get on with each other in a Fusion house, so it's nice to have a bunch of friends to celebrate stuff, and you can have a good laugh doing it.
Excellent. Do you guys, get along pretty well outside of game? Who do you feel like you are closest to and have the best time with personally?
I think I'm pretty close to a lot of people, but I guess Joe, because he was the first one there with me in the house, so I've spent more time with him, and he's a cool guy.
World Cup. You're on Team UK, which was helped put together by Stylosa, who's been very, very present, a presence in the Overwatch League and the World Cup and contenders. So tell me, he's been sporting all this London gear as somebody who knew him personally and who I assume cooperated with him and who's somebody who he himself cheered for. Do you think you could get him to sport a Boombox Philadelphia Fusion jersey?
Probably not, but Stylos is a nice person, so maybe if Fusion do well, he would be willing to, but he's very into Team London, so I think it'd be a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm. So Stage 2, we've had a lot of balance changes. We've seen kind of a return back to the old style of dive comps and stuff like that. How do you feel about the state of the game right now? Are you happy to be going back to that older style? And what do you think the effect of that is going to be on the standings?
I feel a lot of teams did well in Mercy meta because you can't really be punished as much. Like if someone dies, you can res them, you have Valk, it's really good. But now it's gone back to the old meta. I feel like for Fusion, it's the meta which a lot of us made our names for ourselves on. So we have a lot of experience, and I feel like it's going to do us really well. And some other teams like Boston, I guess, underperformed compared to what they did in Mercy meta today. So it's going to be a nice change, and I think the result table will change quite a bit.
Excellent. Do you think that, I mean, we saw that how competition was much closer than anybody anticipated in Stage 1. Do you think returning to this kind of comfortable meta is going to make the standings even closer and the competition even more heightened?
I feel like it's going to spread it a lot more. Like, because Mercy meta is kind of like lower skill, I feel, than this meta. It's a lot more, if you make mistakes, doesn't matter, you have Valk and it's really good. But now if someone gets picked, you need to wait until they respawn or fight without them, and it's so much more important.
And you know, today we saw some longer games. The 2CP maps can definitely go into double, triple overtime potentially. Do you think the pacing change without having Valk is going to help fix that problem, or do you think it'll remain roughly the same?
I think 2CP will be a lot better without Mercy. It's hard to say because I haven't really, I can't really remember what it used to be like, but I feel it's going to be much better now. And Sombra's going to come back a lot more too.
So obviously with Stage 2 the map pool has also changed. Excuse me. The map pool has also changed, affecting different character picks and playstyles on these maps. How do you feel about the current map pool, and how do you think your team is going to handle it compared to the Stage 1 map pool?
I mean, I think this is a better map pool than the last stage because it has a lot of my like favorite maps and maps which in like Europe were played a lot. So it's nice to see it, and I think that's going to matter a lot because no one's played these maps in Overwatch League yet. So it's like a fair game. No one starts late.
Excellent. So today you guys have set the bar really high for yourselves, going 4-0 against a team that gave you trouble last stage. What are your predictions for your team and your goals for Stage 2?
I think our goal for Stage 2 is to move up the table because we finished, I think, tied 7th. I don't know how many teams we were tied with, but we want to finish securely in the top 6. So going forward, we can look towards playoffs.
Excellent. And just to kind of finish off, we've seen a lot of really amazing fan art and fan content over the course of Stage 1 and over the break. What has been your favorite piece of fan content or fan art that you've seen or experienced?
I think it would be something one of my friends made of me. He just keeps making GIFs of my face, like when there was a picture of me eating an In-N-Out on the Fusion Twitter, and he just like puts that into a GIF and sends it to me and loads of stuff. So probably that.
Excellent, excellent.